Breaking. AU leader announces when One Africa government will officially start operating. February 2026 is now confirmed. Let the new era begin. By Takunda Mabika, Supreme Affairs Breaking New N. Tisu Vanu Vacho. This is not about 55 countries anymore. This is about one future, one flag, one purpose. Part 1. The moment we've all been waiting for. It's finally happening. According to a leak from high-level AU insider Chairman Shadow, the One Africa government now has a scheduled birth date. The continental government will officially begin operating in February 2026, the same month the next African Union chairperson is installed. This was confirmed during a virtual meeting of AU commissioners and strategic partners held discreetly earlier this week. While the agenda was titled Continental Governance Consolidation, what was really being discussed was history itself. And make no mistake, this isn't theory anymore. It's a scheduled transformation. Part 2. Why February 2026? You might be asking, why then? Chairman Shadow broke it down in a classified debrief. February 2026 represents the end of foundational planning, the completion of necessary tech infrastructure, and the symbolic handover of continental responsibility to the new era. The date aligns with 1. The end of João Lourenço's AU chair term, Angola. 2. The final test phase of AfroGold and African Digital ID. 3. The appointment of regional governors in replacement of isolated heads of state. 4. The integration of defense commands into AU Peace Security Council. 5. Mass voter education and economic orientation programs wrapping up in December 2025. In simple terms, everything is aligning like gears on a final lock. And when February 2026 hits, that vault opens. Part 3. What exactly will start? Here's what becomes official in February 2026. Continental Parliament. AU lawmakers gain real executive power. One Africa citizenship. Anyone with a digital ID will have legal access to work, live, vote, and trade anywhere in Africa. AfroGold activation, the long-awaited gold-backed currency, will start operating between state reserves, public payments, and inter-African commerce. Peace force deployment. Instead of relying on the UN, Africa will launch its own continental military stabilization teams. AfricaNet Firewall. AU's cybersecurity division will begin overseeing a semi-sovereign African internet and data network, similar to China's model. Judicial body. A new continental court structure will handle cross-border crimes, corruption, and military coups. As Chairman Shadow said, it will no longer be 55 states talking. It will be one government acting. Part 4. Voices behind the curtain. Who's behind this final push? Chairperson João Lourenço. The quiet power broker pushing unity without drama. His team helped coordinate private support from Southern and Central African leaders. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf. The engine room operator, overseeing the build-out of IDs, apps, and digital finance platforms. Chairman Shadow SABN's key source. A digital ghost moving across borders, connected to every committee, every classified draft, every elite Zoom call. Mama Pan Africa. Her job. Make sure no citizen is left behind. She's writing the cultural, legal, and psychological onboarding documents, making unity relatable to the go-go in Malawi or the street vendor in Sierra Leone. General Umoja, ex-peacekeeping commander turned AU strategist. He's planning the Continental Army Command System, ensuring no member country becomes a rogue state. The economist of Addis, a soft-spoken numbers genius managing AfroGold's basket reserve metrics. Every time a diplomat panics about gold stability, he reminds them, don't compare us to Europe. We are Africa. Part 5. The world is watching. This move has shaken the old world order. U.S. reaction, a leaked document from AFRICOM, flagged the shift as a continental autonomy threat, warning that if Africa unites its economy and defense, foreign influence will diminish drastically. France, panicking over potential exit from Francophone military bases and CFA franc dependence. France is now aggressively trying to influence the AfroGold charter to keep financial leverage. China, openly supportive. Chairman Shadow says China sees Africa's unification as proof that anti-Western bloc building is working. They've offered satellite access, Beidou, digital architecture funding, and fintech security partnerships. Torn? EU. Torn. Brussels wants trade and natural resource access, but doesn't like losing leverage. So they're pushing soft diplomacy, culture programs, education deals, migration pacts. Africa? It's playing chess, not checkers. Part 6. The resistance within Africa. Not everyone is clapping hands. Behind closed doors, the resistance is real. West African elites fear losing control over tribal influence networks. East African private companies worry about losing competitive advantage if tariffs are dropped continent-wide. Southern African politicians fear being reduced to regional governors with less media shine and prestige. Civil rights activists want strong guarantees against surveillance and abuse of the African digital ID. There are even whispers of continental sabotage attempts. Certain presidents allegedly delaying infrastructure intentionally to slow the timeline. Chairman Shadow told SABN, "We know who's dragging feet, and we have protocols. No one man can stop 1.4 billion people." Part 7. This is bigger than Africa. Let's be honest, the One Africa government is not just about borders. It's about the new world order, the new global power axis. African citizenship could become the new black card. Powerful, respected, borderless. AfroGold could enter the top 5 world reserve currencies by 2035. Africa-led internet governance might become the foundation of a non-Western digital future. And here's the real kicker. February 2026 is the test run for One World government protocols. This is why insiders are calling it the beautiful One World Order, an order that doesn't begin in Washington or Beijing, but in Addis Ababa, Nairobi, Kinshasa, and Accra. If Africa proves it can unite, manage sovereignty with unity, and still uplift its people, the entire global South may follow. Part 8. The Continental Countdown, 2025 to 2026. Let's break down what happens between now and the launch. August 2025, AfroGold official exchange rate locked. All AU countries submit voter education materials. Radio campaigns begin under the My Continent, My Power hat theme. October 2025, beta testing of digital ID voting systems, simulated Africa-wide vote using new continental tech. November 2025, final parliamentary structure released. Members of Africa Continental Parliament pre-elected in secret ballots. December 2025, 7-day live education broadcast called Africa Rising. Airs continent-wide. Launch of inter-African peacekeeping pre-deployment units. February 2026. Boom. Official AU ceremony. The founding of the Unified Africa Government. Public swearing-in of regional governors and continental ministers. AfroGold enters public circulation. Internet protocols and ID go live. Part 9. How this affects you. If you're 25 or younger reading this, welcome to the most powerful identity ever created. African. 1. Legitimate, digital, borderless, powerful. Here's what will change for you. You can work anywhere on the continent. You don't need visa hustles. You get paid in AfroGold, not manipulated USD. You vote for leaders continent-wide. You get legal protection across 55 states. You belong to the most resource-rich bloc on Earth. Your ancestors died for flags. You'll live under one. Part 10. The youth are speaking. SABN interviewed young Africans from across the continent. Here's what they said. Tapiwa, Zim student in SA. We're tired of borders. We're tired of being harassed. I want one Africa so I can move like I matter. Zanele, Ghanaian software engineer in Kenya. AfroGold will make my fintech dream real. We can finally compete with the West. Musa, One Africa ID means no more visa shame. Let's move. There's fire. There's momentum. And for once, there's a date. Part 11, Conspiracy or Completion. Critics say this is all part of a one-world government scheme, but Chairman Shadow dropped this. The problem is not the concept of global unity. The problem is who runs it. If Africa runs it, we call it justice. This is not a foreign plot. This is an African innovation. The world has been centralized for decades in banks, data, weapons, and medicine. Africa was left behind. Now Africa is building its own version, and the world must adjust. Part 12, Final Words. Mark your calendars, February 2026, the day Africa stops being 55 flags and becomes one destiny, one passport, one currency, one army, one ID, one education system, one voice, and yes, one example for the world. Call to action. Drop a comment. Are you ready for the One Africa government in 2026? Say, Tisu Vanhu Vacho, if you believe in the future. Should Africa run the One World government? Subscribe, share this video, tell your friends, because you are watching Supreme Affairs Breaking News BN, the loudest voice of the future.